Darren Till moving up to 185 pounds is great. It's something we've been asking for a long time, considering his giant weight cut to 170 pounds and he's at his more natural weight class. But red flags get raised because he is set to fight Kelvin Gastelum, which I believe is a detrimental matchup for Darren Till. Now, when you look at this, why did they make this matchup? It's obviously they're thinking about Darren Till. They're not too much thinking about Kelvin Gastelum's side because this fight does nothing for Gastelum. Absolutely nothing. He's fighting a guy from 170 pounds, coming off 2 losses, not ranked at middleweight. Yes, it's a decent name, but for Kelvin to get to a title shot, Darren Till is definitely not the answer. He's definitely not the gatekeeper for that. You got guys like Derek Brunson, the winner of Jack Hermanson versus Jared Cannonier, possibly even an Anderson Silva, who is a bigger name than Darren Till. Fighting Anderson Silva now does more for Kelvin Gastelum's career than fighting Darren Till. So the focus isn't on Kelvin. The focus is on Darren Till and his progression. But if that is the case, why set him up to fight Kelvin? Yes, it's a doable fight. Yes, Darren Till can win this fight. Kelvin was a 170-pound fighter, and I guarantee that's a major driving force to make this fight. The fact that Darren Till, for his first fight at 185 pounds, he won't be undersized and he can adapt to the weight class. And stylistically, it's a very doable fight. Yes, the power of Kelvin Gastelum could get to the questionable chin of Darren Till, because Kelvin does have one of the most powerful left hands in this entire division. But the size difference, Darren Till being much bigger, somewhat better movement in terms of taking angles and knowing how to cut space from opponents, Kelvin may be able to match the speed in terms of how much ground he covers, right? Kelvin's very good at linear movement, which is something Darren Till likes to stay at, and that can create a very interesting collision. They both like to pull on punches, they both like to lean back, they both stay on that linear line most of the time, and they're both southpaw fighters with emphasis on their left hands. These two guys are a lot similar than people think. And the way this setup is a little bit different. Kelvin is a little bit better at covering the chin, a little bit better with his defense on his way in, where Darren Till's forward defense tends to be his biggest downfall. So potentially, if one is going to counter the other, Kelvin may be the more dangerous fighter in that exchange. But Darren Till is a lot better at countering overall. He's a lot more natural in that environment. Stylistically, it's a competitive fight. It's a very good fight. Both can hurt each other. Kelvin has a great chin. Darren Till not so much, but Darren Till does have the reach and the striking proficiency to make up for that. But that's not the biggest thing here. Yes, it's a great fight. We're all going to love it. But the future of this fight is going to be in peril, especially if Darren Till wins, which is the focus. Remember that. The organization most likely is focusing this fight for Darren Till to progress in the 185-pound division because he does have a promising future. He's a young guy, he's like 27 years old, but this becomes very hazardous very quickly because if he goes and beats Kelvin Gastelum, what happens now? Who does he fight now? Now he has to fight the bigger guys at the top of that division right away. This is not how you really progress a fighter, right? The better thing would have been to take it slowly. Maybe fight Krzysztof Jotko, maybe even fight Anderson Silva, which might even be a little bit too much at this state. Maybe an Antonio Carlos Jr., which is a very good stylistic matchup for Darren Till. But to throw him up at the number 4 ranked contender, what surrounds him after that are guys like Yoel Romero, Jack Hermanson, Jacare Ray, even Derek Brunson, Paulo Costa, Israel Adesanya, and Robert Whittaker. Right away, that's going to be his second fight, one of those guys? Definitely ill-advised, I think. This is what is bothering about this whole thing about Darren Till. He's thrusted to the top of every division he competes in. He's thrusted to the top every single time he competes. When he needs growing space, this is what destroyed Cody Garbrandt as well as some fight IQ issues. This is what destroyed Kevin Lee. This is what destroyed so many young fighters in this sport. An easier, straight, narrow path for Darren Till, starting from the bottom of the middleweight division, work his way to the top so he can adapt to the weight class, which is the most important thing. Look at Luke Rockhold, who fought recently at 205. First time in a very long time, I think. I don't know if he's ever fought at 205 before, but he was huge. And because of that, he was a lot slower. He didn't adapt to the weight class. Even one of the best examples of adapting to a weight class is Dustin Poirier at lightweight. When he started off at lightweight, he still didn't adapt to that weight class. You saw he got knocked out by Michael Johnson. He was still getting hurt like he was at 145. But as his body got used to the weight class, used to cutting that weight, and used to training for that weight against similar sized opponents, eventually he was able to take a punch a lot better, going to war with Justin Gaethje. I mean, we know how hard Justin Gaethje hits. That's a little bit different than getting knocked out by Michael Johnson, right? This is going to be a very similar thing for Darren Till. I still don't think his chin is going to be fully recovered at middleweight. I think he needs some time for that to accumulate, to adapt, and to formulate. And fighting a dangerous guy like Kelvin Gastelum, who has one-shot knockout power, is going to be a little bit dangerous. So we're going to have to go out and find out and see. Darren Till is going to be fighting Kelvin Gastelum at UFC 244. And Madison Square Garden, which is a very big card. There's going to be a lot of eyes on that card, a lot of eyes on Darren Till, and see how he competes at the 185-pound division. This fight is not going to tell the tale of his entire career there. So can't wait to find out and see. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed my content, make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment below what you think about all this. What do you think about Darren Till's future now? We all want him to see him at this division, but what do you think about it with his new matchup? And where does it go now? Where's his path afterward? And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.